What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. What do we got here today? So here in a minute I'm going to flip it around and show you what we're going to do, but we have a truck. It's got the 8-speed transmission in it. Now if any of you have ever gone and tried to service your 8-speed or taken it to the dealership and wanted to service your 8-speed, you're going to notice it costs an arm and a leg. That's because they have to replace that entire plastic pan because the filter is built into the pan. I have a trick for you. I've done this on my truck and I've done this on several other trucks. You're going to like it. So hold on. So here we are with a new style, body style. It's got the 6.4 Hemi in it. And as you can see, we have the 8-speed transmission in it, correct? Yes. All right, so instead of going and buying yourself a brand new $400 8-speed transmission pan that has the filter in it, this is what you go and do. You buy the steel Wrangler pan. I'm gonna give you a part number. For those of you that can read that right there, there's your part number. That gives you the pan, the filter, and a gasket. And so with that, moving forward, you buy the fluid and a $35 filter. That's it. You don't have to buy the whole pan again. Does the fins on the plastic pan actually do anything for the transmission? I'm sure it does. I have a half ton. I have a 35-foot camper that I pull with that half ton. I have a steel pan on it, and I have had for over 100,000 miles. I have not noticed once my transmission temperature getting up any higher than what it does normally. And I've watched it. Every time we tow and we go, we take it from here in Salt Lake City, we head up to Lava Hot Springs, so we got a pretty decent incline to go. We take it up to Wyoming all the time, so we've got Parleys that we have to pull, and then we got the Sisters that we have to pull on the other side of Evanston. Lots of inclines. I have never seen my transmission get any hotter than what it does on normal driving. So do the fins help? I'm not so convinced that they're doing a lot of good, but I'm going to do a couple little videos after I get this pan off, the new pan back on it, and then we'll finish up the video. But it saves some money for all of you who have the 8-speed trans. Now here's the other big myth. Mopar says it's a fill for life transmission. I don't feel comfortable about keeping transmission fluid in my transmission for the life of that vehicle, especially since my truck has 240,000 miles on it. You go to ZF's website, look at their interval on the change, it's 60,000. So I've been religious at 60,000 miles on mine. I recommend you guys doing the same on yours, every 60,000 miles on your 8-speed transmissions. Get your fluid from either Amazon, you can go to ZF's and you can get fluid there from cheaper. You can go to the dealer. Ours is expensive, really expensive. So find an alternative method of getting your fluid, but you can do this kind of a trans service and change that pan to the steel pan. Now, the one thing that you have to watch out for is, I'm gonna flip it around again. When you're doing this conversion on some of the older models, the boss, where your bolt bolts into the tranny, is not open on top. So you have to shorten up your pan bolts. So you see how thick the flange is on this pan right here? Now on this steel pan, it's pretty thin. So you want to make sure that you don't bust out the case when you're running these bolts back up in here. You might have to cut your bolts down. So just be very careful. If it stops before it bottoms, then pull it out, cut it off, put it back in. So just make sure that you pay really close attention to your bolt length and your hole depth. Don't bust out that case, all right? That'll make for a very bad and expensive problem. So I'm gonna get this changed out, show you another picture after it's on, or video, and then I'll finalize it, get it posted. Okay, there she is, steel pan on. This one I did not have to cut down bolts. It did not break out the top. They were open all the way through, all the way around. There we go. So I'm gonna go through and do my initial fill, start this thing up, get the temperature up on it, and then do my final fill. Okay, so we got the transmission full, everything up to temperature, proper levels, and that's it, guys. You know, you don't have to go through and pay the outrageous prices. But it also brings to light that sometimes the manufacturers of these vehicles don't give you the correct intervals. Chrysler, Mopar, whatever, says fill for life, because they use that as a marketing ploy to make it look like it's cheaper for the consumer as far as maintenance and owning the vehicle. You go to the manufacturer of that part and look at what their service interval should be. In this instance, ZF Transmissions, ZF Industries recommends a 60,000 mile interval on these. So I recommend 60,000 on any 8-speed. Please don't take them to 100, 140 or until you trade it off. Got to keep that maintenance up on them, guys, especially if you want these things to last. So anyway, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button, share, comment, whatever you want. Have a good one.